Hey everyone, Eric at Flyin Miata. Welcome to another edition of Facebook Live from our world headquarters here in beautiful Palisade, Colorado. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how sway bars work, and we talked about our Flyin Miata sway bars and how cool they are and how adjustable they are. So hey, let's talk about the next part that attaches your sway bar to the suspension members, which are the Flyin Miata adjustable end links. So we've got our shop car in the air over here, so I'm going to let Travis kind of sneak past me a little bit so he can get a look at this guy. So here it is right here. Super exciting. One end is attached to the sway bar, the other one to the lower control arm. So here and here are two jam nuts that hold the... Oh, I should mention, I was just reminded, thanks Mike, you'll need a 13 millimeter and I believe a 17 millimeter. You can see that there are flat spots on the center section and of course a jam nut. So the idea behind adjustable sway links is basically you install one on one side of the car, lower the car on its wheels, and then install the other one so that there's no preload. In other words, there's no twist happening on the torsion spring of the sway bar. What this does is puts the car in the most neutral handling position that you can possibly get it, so that you get even handling characteristics from side to side. So in order to adjust these guys, this is the really cool part. This is a turnbuckle. So one of these is left-hand thread and one of these is right-hand thread. So to lengthen and shorten this thing, I don't know if you can actually see this sway bar going up and down when I do this, but that's all it takes to lengthen and shorten it, because it's lengthening and shortening each one of these evenly because one of them is left-hand thread. So these are a really nice upgrade. Your stock ones are worn out. These are a nice thing to grab. Doing some racing, looking to get a little bit more precision out of your handling, another great option. They are sold in pairs, available for the NA, NB, NC, and the ND chassis, like the one we're looking at here. What else can I tell you? Oh, I believe they're $49.99 per pair, and you need 2 pairs to do the whole car. Make sure you check the website for most current pricing. So, as I'm yakking away here, let me check in with Kyle behind Travis here, see if there's any questions popping up. They're pretty basic apparatus, so not a lot to cover, but some pretty good details about what they actually do.
So just so people know, would you need these for a stock suspension or only aftermarket sway bar and aftermarket suspension?
That's a good question. Actually, you can use these on the stock suspension. You can use these on the stock sway bars, no problem. You know, yes, they're a performance upgrade, but they're also very strong and very durable. So as long as your stock end links lasted, you can expect these to last even longer. Okay, any other questions popping up out there?
One more thing I think people ask a lot about is the differences between the front and the back, and should you have them adjusted similarly, or should they be exactly the same with a neutral preload?
Sure, yeah. I mean, front to rear, yeah, the idea is to get each sway bar neutral preload or no preload on the tension spring. What was I going to say about that? Some people ask about, you know, whether or not they should try to get the arm of the sway bar completely horizontal, getting a perfect 90-degree angle with the sway link and whatnot. And sure, that's obviously physically going to give you the best leverage reaction out of the situation. But we're kind of splitting hairs with that, and maybe if you're well into racing and you're looking for those few tenths of a second off of a lap, that kind of scenario, then that's something that you probably want to look at. But for us average guys that bomb around in our Miatas and do twisty roads on the weekends and like to do autocross and track events every once in a while, that sort of precision in getting the sway bar angle just right isn't totally necessary. You're going to have a lot of fun with a sway bar upgrade and these awesome sway links no matter what. Okay. Any more questions? Any more comments?
Maybe people want to get a look at the rear setup.
So you can see the rear setup is, gosh, it looks awfully similar to the front setup. It's a little bit shorter. Of course, that's important because you want to have the right length on the right end of the car. This sway bar happens to be set up in the firmest setting. So it's going to keep the rear end of this car really, really planted. This is also a V8 car, so it takes a little bit different suspension setup than a 4-cylinder car. But yeah, same kind of concept on the back. So, questions, comments? All right. So let's do this. Next, we got something really special. We're going to send it over to Mike, and he's actually going to do drawings from this past week's Miata reunion. We're giving away a $100 store credit to one person that visited us on Saturday and one person that visited us on Sunday. So let's give it over to Mike.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate you going through all the endling questions we had there. So as he mentioned, we're going to be giving away $100. So one of, actually two of you luckies that stop by our booth will be able to get a little bit of credit to use towards your next purchase. So as you probably saw if you visited this last weekend, we had a bunch of these little notepads, just has a space for your name and your email address. And all we did is we asked you to fill this out so that way you could be entered for this contest. Now, we also gave away t-shirts, so hopefully you were there during that time where we had some t-shirts left and you're able to get a hold of that as well. I looked through these. This is all of Saturday's batch. We got a ton of entrants. So there are pretty high odds, to say the least. There'll be one lucky customer out of this group, and then we'll do Sundays next. I will make note that I think it's funny that there must be a lot of doctors that drive Miatas, because a lot of these names and email addresses are quite illegible. I'm not sure what all of you prescribed for us, but I'm sure it's very interesting. So thank you for everybody that did submit a card, so that way we could see about entering to win this $100. I will also make note that if I cannot easily read your name or your signature, or your email address, unfortunately, we won't be able to give you a prize. So I may need to draw a couple names here just to get one that I'm easily able to read. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. We will contact you via email, of course, since we have your email address on here, once you've won, and let you know that you've got some credit, and you can use it towards anything on our web store. All right. Okay. This one's actually pretty good. I can read this one very well. You're not a doctor, Kenneth Rielp. So you are our winner for Saturday. I'll be in touch with you soon here via email. Thanks, Kenneth. So that is awesome. Now we can move on to Sundays. Now Sunday is a different story because while we had a lot of people stop by the shop or by the garage space, these are all of the tickets that we got. So nowhere near as many. You've got a much better shot at winning if you stop by Sunday rather than Saturday. So here we go. Let's go ahead and we'll get this mixed up a little bit. Oh, thank you. Wouldn't want to cheat anybody, huh? All right.
A lot of doctors in there.
Feels like a lot of prescriptions. Okay, so... Oh, this one's also... I'm very surprised. I didn't actually pull out any of the prescriptions this time. I was totally expecting to. This one is from Linda Pipe. So Linda, thank you very much for your entry. We will be in touch with you soon to let you know about your $100 of FM store credit. Thanks for playing. We sure appreciate it. And for all of you, even though you didn't win, hopefully you got a t-shirt. Hopefully you had a good time at the event. We always appreciate everybody that's able to come out and hang out with us there at Laguna Seca. If you have any questions about any of this, if you want to talk to us about NLinks, of course, of anything else, or if you just want to chat about what we did over the weekend at the event, let us know. Give us a call, send us an email, get in touch with us on Instagram or Facebook, and we'd love to chat with you there. Thanks again, everyone. We'll catch you next week. Appreciate it. Keep on boosting.